Well, the crowd will soon change from being disappointed that the heptathletes aren't doing their lap of honour when they realise that the fastest men on the world are down there at the end of the straight for the final, the men's 100 metres. The world record set by Usain Bolt in Beijing, 9.69. The world lead this year set by Taysongay, 9.77, the permitted limit, but it was just slightly behind them, which helped at plus 0.9 metres per second.
Well, let's not take anything away from Taysongay. I mean, the man saved his best to last, didn't he? 9.71, a national record. There he is. Having to suffer, really, at the hands of probably the most superb sprinter we'll ever see, in my lifetime anyway.
He looks slightly shocked, Taysongay. I'm not sure he can quite believe what he saw. He ran a champions race, the winner from Osaka 2 years ago. To run a national record under huge pressure in a major final takes real quality, but Usain Bolt just has that extra gear that none of us have ever seen from a sprinter before.
Well, you can't explain it away, and I hope they're not asking him to, because he's actually run a marvellous race, Taysongay. I didn't think he would be able to run that fast, actually, Peter.
Well, he's taken .06 off the American record. He's moved ahead of Asafa Powell now into the second fastest man in history. And, you know, when you're second fastest to a man like this, that is just fantastic. Well, they're standing as well they might in tribute to the great men there. And there's two gold medalists down there. Jessica Ennis just behind him as well. Asafa Powell with the bronze medal. And it's good to see, but no disgrace there. And whereas we were critical of him in the Olympic Games, certainly not then.
OK, well, that's the 100. We've still got the 200. What can we expect if he's running in this sort of shape?
Well, yeah, I mean, we never really expected Michael Johnson's world record to get broken. It did happen to Bolt in the Olympic Games. He did, of course, run all out in that race, which he hadn't in the 100. But nonetheless, he's getting better. He's getting more mature. He's learning his trade. Heavens.
Well, we don't know, but having said that, it's going to be wonderful to watch again a bit later in the programme. Well, the crowd are still here. There's nothing going on. They just want to stay. They don't want to go home. They just want to bask in all of this, really.
We cannot underestimate what this man has done for the sport of athletics. This was it. This was the big jewel. The big three. The fastest men in the history of the sport. And if you just take a little look at Asafa Powell on the left of time, 9.58.
And there is the historic photo of the fastest time we've ever seen for a 100 metres by a huge margin. Even Prince Albert can scarce believe it. That's the reaction of a dedicated athletics fan. Wow! The result of the men's 100 metres, that fantastic world record to Usain Bolt, 9.58. Taysongay smashing the American record to take the silver medal. Asafa Powell running 9.84. Bailey and Thompson, more Caribbean athletes, under 10 seconds. Dwayne Chambers, Mark Burns, 10 seconds exactly. Look at those season's best there. Darvis Patton, 10.34. Wind speed fine, 0.9. The fastest time we've ever seen. And Taysongay, the outstanding charismatic character of the sport. The one and only Usain Bolt finds the energy to jump up onto that rostrum, having set a superlative world he could run, and he provided the answer. There it is, 9.58 seconds. Even he will have to go some to beat that record. It was one of the greatest moments in the history of our sport. Of that, be in no doubt at all. It was a truly Beeman-esque performance, and Usain Bolt goes in. Well, the whole of the Jamaican nation can be truly proud of this man, and indeed they can of Asafa Powell as he goes through his routine. But indeed it's...
But maybe a lot lower than that. 9.8, 9.7, maybe the benchmark now for world sprinting. The same way that the 4-minute mile was once seen as the main target for milers. That's been surpassed, and now I think Usain Bolt has opened a new era. It's in the era now of the 9.5 sprint men.
Well, Steve, I was thinking last night when we went back after a fabulous night here in the Olympic Stadium, I think it was Dwayne Chambers who finished with 10 flat with the season's best. He was almost half